Hey, Eagle Run 23 here. Tonight we're going to take apart and clean a Taurus PT-111. Alright, let's get started here. This is the Taurus PT-111 G2. Now, I was at the range the other day, and I'm sure I'm not the first one to notice this, but I have my Beretta mags for my Beretta platforms, and I'm sitting here at the range and I see these next to each other. Again, I'm sure I'm not the first one to notice this, but I'm like, man, those really look like they're the same at the top. So I grabbed, this is a surplus, I grabbed a mag and I put it in, and it fits. Now, of course, it doesn't lock up, but it fits. Now, I've modified these to work with the M9 platform, which is, this is how they come. These are surplus for M9s. 92FS, they also are here. But the 92S has a mag release that's on the heel, and so I modified these to fit that. And so I'm thinking, I wonder if I can cut another slot and make that work. But I'm going to explore that at a later date. So, all right. So disassembly on this thing is easy. You pull it back to a half cock, pull down, trigger, and it releases. We'll set that aside for now. I have the upgraded recoil spring, looking good. I've shot this a few times now since I put this in. This is from Lakeline LLC. It's an upgraded spring. So this comes apart really easy here. We're just going to do a quick clean on this. I've shot it twice, I think, since I cleaned it. So hops number 9.
This is going to be a light cleaning. I'm not going to disassemble the slide any further. I'm not going to pull the firing pin out and clean the hard on there. I've done that recently.
I've had this gun for, I don't know, nearly a year, and while it was my concealed carry gun, I didn't really like it. I didn't really appreciate it. I fought the trigger, and I fought just in the back of my head, thinking that maybe it wasn't reliable and all these things. And I've since done some research and I've made some upgrades, and I'm really happy with this gun now. The upgrades that I've done have really improved the accuracy. While I haven't been able to fix the trigger to anything that would be considered a really good trigger, it's still in its factory setup right now. But I have done some things to the sights. I've got Trigicon night sights up here that I put on. It's really accurate, way more accurate than it was. I think even in the daylight, having those better sights, better quality sights are an upgrade. All right, we'll send this through the barrel a few times here.
Looks pretty good in there.
I did not shoot a video on this. It was before I started filming some of my projects. I did polish this feed ramp with a Dremel tool. I started with a wire wheel and then went in with a buffer wheel and polished it with some polishing compound, and it's real smooth. I hadn't had any problems with it. It's just something that I do on a lot of guns to help with some feeding reliability.
Once I've got that broken loose, I like to just scrub in here a little bit. You can see we got it pretty clean already.
Now on the lower frame, you don't need to do much other than this area right here. You do have some feeding that comes in right here from your mag, and so keep this area right here clean. Now for training and for practice and range sessions, I usually use that steel case Tulimo. I shoot at an outdoor range, and we can use the cheaper steel stuff. I did have my first failure to fire from my Tulimo. Gosh, I don't know what case I'm on. You order it by the case, and I think I'm on maybe 3,000 rounds of it. Through this gun and through the Berettas and through my PX4 Storm, I had my first failure. Now I did the when it clicked and didn't go off, and I knew I had a good mag in there, I did the tap rack, and I probably should have tried to do this gun has a double fire, double action, where you can put another hammer strike on that primer. It probably would have fired. I'm just assuming it would have. I think it was just a light primer strike, maybe. Jump in here with some oil now. I just use rim oil here at my workbench. Oh, I did not spend much time on this face right here. Let's see if there's any junk in there. Oh, there is.
I'm just going to break some of that loose and hit it with a patch. With these little picks, you can always find some junk somewhere.
If any of that ends up in the firing pin hole, you could end up with some more problems. I've seen where some guys have taken this loaded when up chamber indicator. I've seen where you just drive that pin out and you take this whole thing off. It kind of gives you a window to see if you're chamber. I've found that I like having it because I like to even feel when it's in my holster if I've got a round in the chamber. It doesn't substitute for a press check, but you can kind of know if there's one in there or not. So I guess being able to see in there would kind of be the same thing. For now, I'm going to leave it on, but that might be something I do in the future.
But I really have enjoyed shooting this gun a whole lot more recently. So, alright, that looks good in there.
Alright, back together. I do not lube the spring. You could put some in there, but probably not every time.
Alright, and then on this slide, some lube there. And then if you want to lube here, I don't typically do this every time. I don't want, sometimes this just makes things dirtier, but I haven't done that in a while.
Alright. We are back in business. So what I've learned on this trigger, and one of the things that I appreciate now, is when I come out of the holster and I go to draw, I'm staging this trigger to here. You can get there really easily and not push past the wall, and so I'm coming out, and as I go forward, I'm staging that trigger so that I'm here, and then I line my shot up, and then that's just from there, it's just a break. And it is firm, and but it's firm, but it's not gritty. So, and then your reset is right there, and you're back up against it. So there's some creep from the reset, but I guess I've gotten used to it as I've come to appreciate this gun a little bit more. So, all right, that's the Taurus PT-111, cleaned and ready to go. Thanks for watching.